Hello?
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Wait, I need to mute myself because I just unmuted. I didn't know you're on.
There we go.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
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 She can hear you. You want her to hear you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see all of you. This is awesome. Did I send it to you? No. I don't know, honey. I can't get on. I don't know what to say.
I think it's at the top, but okay.
You'll have to just come in here and sit down, like bring your chairs or something. Okay?
Okay, it's not up, okay.
Well, I know. I don't know why I've sent it twice now. We're going to get started in just a few minutes, everyone, okay? I'm going to try it one other way, girls, okay? Calendar. I'm gonna text it to you. I don't know what else to do.
To make sure I'm muted.
No, it didn't go again.
Why?
You can go in the link and okay. And then hit weather is the password.
I know what to do from the chat. Close. No.
Hi. Hi, Drew.
Okay, now can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
So we can maybe wait just another minute or so and it looks like we've got tons of kids joining us, which is so fun. Maybe
Good.
we'll wait one more minute and then get started.
That's fine. I'll be right back. I gotta grab a piece of paper.
Sounds good.
Why is it hard? Because the thing is about to start. Zoom? Yeah. Okay. Hungry.
Hi, everybody. How are you today? Give me a thumbs up if you're having a good day. Looks like the rain has stopped, which is so fun. Maybe you can even get outside this afternoon. We're going to wait just another minute to get started, but I am so excited. I think we have over 75 people who have joined us today. That is so exciting. I'm going to give you guys a tip so that we can have a really awesome assembly. Like, this is our first school gathering, and we have, it's going to be a really exciting assembly. But I want to tell you that if right now, are you seeing everybody's little pictures? Or are you seeing a big picture with a bunch of little pictures on just on the top? Give me a thumbs up if you're seeing a bunch of little pictures. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. If you go in the top right. Now, do you guys know which side is your right? If you go on the top right, there's something called a speaker view. And if you click on the button that says speaker view, or maybe you have a mom or dad who could help you, if you click on that, it's going to give you one big picture, and I hope you're seeing me right now. And then there'll be a bunch of little pictures on the top. Are you seeing me right now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
On the right.
The top right, it says speaker view. And that'll let you see a really big picture. All right. Drew, are you ready to get started?
I am, yes.
Okay, so Ixonia Falcons, we are really excited to welcome Drew Burgoyne. He is a meteorologist on TV. He's on channel 58. And he was gonna come to Ixonia and do an assembly for all of us, but today he has decided to try this virtually, and it's just Ixonia kids, so it's gonna be very personal to us, and we might even have a chance to ask him some questions at the end. But while we're doing this presentation, I'm gonna keep everybody muted so that we can just hear him speaking and see the videos that he has to share. Does that sound good to everybody? Give me a thumbs up if that works. Okay. I'm going to share my screen and then we can get started.
It just feels more comfortable.
Oh, hang on. There we go.
Alright, well, don't click anything. Not clicking anything.
Let's see. Okay, can you see the screen, everybody?
Yes.
And do you see, does it say 58 tornado ready?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. You may take over.
Miss Earlene,
Yes.
ours is just black when you're sharing your screen. Ours just shows black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it black for a lot of you, friends?
Is it black for you, Braden?
Drew, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see the screen.
Okay, so it sounds like that might be something happening on your computer. You might want to get a mom or dad to help you right now. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and get started, and I hope it works for most of you. Oop. That's not what I wanted. Drew, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon to all of you. I'm so bummed that I can't be there in person. This is one of the best things that I do during my day is I get to go and visit kids all across the area. So hopefully maybe I get to come to your school next year. But in the meantime, we're here for about 30 minutes. I want to talk about severe weather and severe weather safety. All right. Because as we start getting into the springtime, and we start talking about warmer temperatures. I know it's been kind of icky outside, but once we get warmer temperatures, we're going to be dealing with more thunderstorms. So today we're going to talk about thunderstorms, specifically tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail. And usually we get most of these across the state of Wisconsin in the summertime when it's warm and humid. So the summer is right around the corner. We know that. So let's take a look at our first video. These are all the different types of severe weather we can get across the state of Wisconsin.
Very good.
That looks like another hurricane. Oh, no.
It's just like
Blizzard? Yeah, that's hail. Tornado. Tornado.
come in here.
A tornado.
All right, so there's your 2-for-1 deal there. 2 tornadoes for the price of 1. You know, typically Wisconsin gets about 23 tornadoes each year. All right, that's about top 20 in the nation. It's nowhere near the big boy producing states. We're talking like Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas. They get a whole lot more than we do, but we typically see most of our tornadoes across Wisconsin in the month of June. Now, remember, that's for the entire state, so averaging about 23. But late May into June, July, and August, that's kind of the sweet spot for severe weather, and that should make sense. We typically get southerly winds that come up, and those southerly winds produce a lot of humidity. And if all the ingredients come together, all the right ingredients, we can get strong to severe storms. Speaking of ingredients, coming up after the end of this presentation, we're going to take this outside to my driveway, and well, I bought a bunch of liquid nitrogen today, and I thought we're going to blow up something. Hopefully my neighbors don't call the cops, but we'll have to see. So we'll do that in a little bit. All right, let's advance to our next slide. So when it comes to a typical tornado across Wisconsin, we have an average. It's on the ground for 7 to 10 minutes. It's about 4 to 6 miles when it comes to a damage path. It's about the width of a football field or so, about 120 yards, all right? Now, the widest tornado ever recorded was back in Oklahoma. It was 2.6 miles wide. If you've ever run a mile before, that's a long time. Well, multiply that almost by 3. That's how wide the widest tornado was. We typically don't get those types of tornadoes. And we actually had a record amount of tornadoes back in 2005 at 62. So while our average is 23, we've had some busy years. And that was one of them back in 2005. So, you know, every now and then we can get those crazy years where we obviously get more tornadoes. But if anyone's ever seen The Wizard of Oz before, I like using that example because The Wizard of Oz, if you remember back, right, Dorothy's house gets sucked up. Is that real or is that Hollywood? That's Hollywood, right? It comes up with a cool story. It's a great scene, but that's not realistic, all right? Most of our tornadoes are never going to take your house and move it. In fact, I'm actually in my basement right now.
Oh. Oh. Can we just hang on 1 second, everybody? I'm going to mute everybody again. I just want to make sure that we can hear, and I'm just going to unmute our presenter, Mr. Burgoyne. Okay, I think, Drew, you're ready to go again. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. I love seeing all the different faces scrolling through. It's wonderful. And people playing along with the tornado videos. So I just want to reiterate what I said earlier. One of my favorite movies is The Wizard of Oz. And The Wizard of Oz has that crazy tornado scene where it takes Dorothy's house and moves it, but that's not reality, all right? So if you're scared of storms, if you're more specifically scared of tornadoes, it's okay to be scared, but coming up with a plan with your family today would be awesome. And that means finding out where to go and what to do when bad weather happens. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about a little intro into this next tornado video. It's one of my favorites, all right? Nobody gets hurt in this video, but a guy is driving and the tornado comes very close to his car, all right? And he's going to get a real close view, and he's going to be talking to his son on Bluetooth. So he's actually going to be talking to his son through this. And I want to talk about safety after we watch the video. So we'll roll that, and then I'll talk about it.
Oh, that's the same one again, isn't it?
Yep, we can just skip through and go. It probably went to the start.
This is a tornado, and I cannot tell which way it
Oh, geez, I'm
is
sorry.
going, so I don't know how to get away from it. But it looks like it's coming right towards me. Yeah, I'd say it's going to come right over me. Let me see if I can back up here a little bit and get under the bridge. Yeah, it's coming right over me. Oh, I have honestly never been in a tornado before. Totally crazy. It's coming right. It is coming right over the top of me. It's a little bit scary. And I don't really know what to do except, I guess, sit here. Maybe duck down. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. It's ridiculous. Look, oh, that is scary. The truck is, oh my gosh. Holy smokes. Oh no. Yeah, that is completely crazy. The truck feels like it's about to lift up off the ground. I'm not lying. Oh my gosh. Woo! Look at that. I don't know. I'm not getting out to look. I'll look and see if there's any truck damage later. It actually bent the mirror backwards. Both mirrors backwards. Oh, there it is. Can't tell if it's coming back around or not.
All right, so I think
I'm
it
meteorologist.
froze.
It froze.
So, yeah, the video
Yeah, can we
froze
watch
pretty
it
much
again?
right before. Yeah, we absolutely could
Want me to go
watch it again.
backwards?
Yeah, sometimes these high definition, these videos, they can slow down your computer. So let's try it again.
All right.
This is a tornado, and I cannot tell which way it is going, so I don't know how to get away from it. But it looks like it's coming right towards me.
Come on.
Yeah, I'd say it's going to come right over me. Let me see if I can back up here a little bit and get under the bridge. Yeah, it's coming right over me. Oh, I have honestly never been in a tornado before.
Quit messing with it.
Totally crazy. It's coming right. It is coming right over the top of
Quit
me.
messing with
A
it.
little bit scary. I don't really know what to do except, I guess, sit here. Maybe duck down. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy.
All right, Miss Yearling, I don't know if you can hear me, but
Yeah.
it's frozen.
Yeah,
So
it's frozen.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing it on mine, but it
Ridiculous.
must be stuck.
Oh,
On yours? Okay.
Well, all right, now it's rolling,
Yeah,
kind
now
of.
it's going.
That is scary.
But
The truck is, oh my gosh. Holy smokes. Oh no. Yeah, that is completely crazy. The truck feels like it's about to lift up off the ground. Not lying. Oh my gosh. Woo! Look at that. I don't know. I'm not getting out to look. I'll look and see if there's any truck damage later. It actually bent the mirror backwards. Both mirrors backwards. Oh, goodness. Can't tell if it's coming back around or not.
Okay, I don't
And
know
it
if this
froze
is,
again. Yep. Now I
so
see that.
I don't know if this is easy for you to do, but if you just have the individual movie files that I sent you, right?
I do.
If you're able to just click on that individual video file, maybe out of the PowerPoint, maybe it'll run smoothly that way. And we'll try that.
Is it wind tunnel or which one is
Nope.
it called?
It should be,
Ready storm?
no, is there like a crazy tornado or
Oh,
something?
yep.
Give that a whirl.
This is
and
a
let's just see.
tornado, and I cannot tell which way it is going, so I don't know how to get away from it. But it looks like
Can
it's
you
coming
scrub
right
through by chance? Or
Not giving me the.
Yeah, I'd say it's going to come right over me. Let me see if I can back
Not giving me
up
the
here a little
option.
bit and get under the bridge. Yeah, it's coming right over me.
seems to be running
Oh,
smoother.
crap.
Mm-hmm.
I have honestly never been in a tornado before.
If I can talk over it while he's
Sure.
talking. So this actually happened in Northern Illinois back in 2015.
Totally
So it
crazy.
didn't happen very long ago.
Coming right.
This guy was driving.
Top of me. It's a little bit
This
scary.
tornado, the winds almost got to 200 miles an hour. So eventually it was rated an EF4. The tornado was actually moving 60 miles an hour, guys. It was moving that fast.
That's crazy.
So he didn't have much time, and you can see how close it comes to him.
It's ridiculous.
How come it didn't suck him up?
He was far enough away,
Look, oh, that is.
but if he was maybe,
scary.
let's say, 15 to 20 yards
Oh my
closer,
gosh.
that his car
that
would have
is
probably
not
rolled.
funny.
Holy smokes. Oh no. Yeah, that is completely crazy. The truck feels like it's about to lift up off the ground. Not lying. Oh my gosh. Woo! Look at that. I don't know. I'm not getting out to look. I'll look and see if
That
there's
is
any
not
truck damage
funny.
later. It
That's
actually
serious.
hit the mirror backwards. Both mirrors backwards. Oh, goodness. Can't tell if it's coming back around or not.
All right, so probably going forward, Stacey, we could probably just
Show
do
it right from here.
Yeah, because I just have videos left. So
Okay.
just real quickly about that, he was okay. I never, ever would recommend someone staying in a car. The best thing you could do would be to find a place of safety, like a building. If there's not one, drive in the opposite direction of the tornado. But a lot of times people don't know the exact direction it's moving. So there's not a perfect answer, but get out of the vehicle as far away as you can. All right, get into a low-lying area, cover yourself up in a ditch. Being in a vehicle, they're not designed for that. And so if that tornado would have picked up that car and he would have been in it, he could have severely been hurt or or even killed. So thankfully he was okay. It shows you the power of that. That particular tornado was sucking up debris 20,000 feet in the atmosphere. We actually saw it on radar, which is pretty wild. All right, we can talk a little safety here about what you can do in your home. We'll click on, that's right, the next video.
Rebecca?
Yep, and we'll talk about it.
I'm meteorologist Rebecca Schold. Here in the Ready Weather Center, we work hard to give you the best forecast to help you plan your day. But we also want to help you get ready should severe weather move our way. That's why it's important to have a family plan in place to help you ride out the storm. We call that having a ready spot. And you're also going to want to stock up your ready spot with essentials like food and water and medication as well, enough to last for 3 days. It's also important to have needed items for your pets and your kids too. Let's take a look at what you should have in your ready spot. And again, it's most important to have a plan. So designate a safe spot, and also you want to stock that with items. Again, food, water, and medication enough for 3 days is essential to have in your ready spot, but you also want things like a NOAA weather radio that will help you stay up to date with the latest watches and warnings that we have in place across the area. And if the power goes out, you'll want batteries and a flashlight as well as a first aid kit. Here in the Ready Weather Center, we're always trying to keep you ahead of the storm.
All right, a couple of good things on there. Number one, I would recommend a weather radio for every family. They're about 30 bucks, all right? They're loud, they're obnoxious. They're like your brother or sister, okay? They're gonna wake you up in the middle of the night, especially if you're sleeping. I don't know about you, but in the middle of the night, if there's severe weather, I'm half asleep, okay? And it's not easy to wake up. A lot of people get their information from their phones. Sometimes phones you ignore. So weather radio to me is a great thing to have. One other thing that I would recommend in your ready spot, okay, your ready spot's your safe spot. If you have a basement, that's the perfect place to go. If you don't, get into a bathroom or closet, put as many walls between you and the storm as possible. But get a pair of shoes. And you may be saying, why do I need shoes? Well, in the middle of the night, if you're running to your ready spot and you have bare feet, and let's say there's some damage and you have to walk across with bare feet, let's say like broken wood or nails or something like that, the last thing you want to do is rip up your feet, okay, and cause cuts and all that kind of stuff. So have an extra pair of shoes in your ready spot. If you have maybe you need some sort of medication that's really important for you, get some extra medication, stock that away. Those are all things to think about, you know, in addition to a safety kit or something along those lines, okay? Now, I'll be honest with you. I got interested in weather in the 4th grade. So many of my 4th graders here, I can relate to you. One of the things I used to love to do when there was bad weather, run to the window. Good idea or bad idea? You know the answer to that, right? Our next video here.
Very, very, very bad idea.
Very good, and I'm going to show you why with our next video. That's the one. We'll click on that and watch.
Tornadoes and damaging winds can cause significant damage to property. Strong winds can hurl debris toward buildings and houses at very high speeds. The most important thing you can do when severe weather strikes is to get indoors. The problem is going inside just isn't enough. We tend to be curious, and sometimes we just want to look out the window and see the storms as they come in. Staying away from windows and glass is a must when storms arrive. We visited UL Technologies in Northbrook, Illinois, where they study products for safety. We wanted to see what happened when a 2x4 gets shot into glass. The glass had no chance as the piece of wood was shot through. But get this, speed of the wood, only 35 miles an hour. It doesn't take much for an object to break through the glass. Damage
2x4 just shattered the window.
and tornadic
So
winds.
if like a wood hits
Greater impact.
the thing, like a piece of hail would just destroy a window.
All right.
But like
so,
our windows are like protective.
Just keep listening.
So with that video, it was only a 30-mile-an-hour force to push that through glass. So we don't want you running up the glass. I did hear someone say, yeah, if there was strong hail, that could go through too. In fact, several years ago, there was some really large hail and damaging winds that put holes in the siding of homes in Janesville. Do you imagine that, in the siding with the strong wind? So even though there may not be a tornado warning, if there's a severe thunderstorm warning, that means you also need to take the proper precautions. All right, Ms. Yearling, I think this video, I think you actually have to go back into the PowerPoint. It's built in. It's
Okay.
the guy who's grilling.
Here he is.
So yeah, let's try this one.
Let's see.
You should be able to do it, I think, from the current slide.
There you go.
Yeah, I think this is a
All right,
nice
keep watching all the trees here.
guys
Maybe.
grilling outside. Like it was like
Oh, sorry.
the rock behind us here.
Not talking like bad.
Wow.
Okay,
Took
so
bad. It's just
that
real bad.
that was not a tornado. That was actually strong, damaging winds in Kenosha, over 70 miles an hour. So even though it wasn't a tornado, you saw all the trees. Now I know I figured out what that guy was doing. He probably went to the butcher that morning. He picked up some nice fillets. He probably dropped a lot of money, right? And he wanted to grill, and he was gonna stay by that grill as long as he could. Well, bad idea. Thankfully they were okay. But if he would have been out in the yard and that tree would have fallen, that could have been a real bad deal. Okay. Now, I decided to try to stand up to 100-mile-an-hour winds in a wind tunnel to show you what the force is like. So maybe we go back to the, let's take a
Hi
look at
everyone,
this.
we're in Racine today at Modine Manufacturing. How cool is this? They have an amazing engineering department. In this engineering department, they have a wind tunnel. They're going to let us use that wind tunnel to test thunderstorm winds on the body. We're talking about thunderstorms versus tornadoes. This is going to be fun. Hey, look, it's a little mini me. All right, this is our little mini Drew, and this is a replica second grader. He's 4 feet tall and about 60 pounds, and he's got the average wingspan of a second grader. So what we want to do is test out this guy first and see the difference between thunderstorm winds and tornado winds on a second grader.
Not too bad. We're going down still.
Well, we just saw what happened to our little mini Drew. He got punished with 100-mile-an-hour winds, and, well, now it's my turn to go in. But safety first. I've got my big coat on. I have to have protection for my eyes, and, of course, a motorcycle helmet for my head.
You can
Oh my gosh, this 100-mile-an-hour wind can blow him away.
Wow, I had to catch my breath. I thought I would be able to make it to 100 miles an hour. I wasn't able to do it. I got close. We got to 90, but that was enough. My body was flailing around. The force was way too much. So could you imagine if you were outside with damaging thunderstorm winds or even tornadic winds? Tornado speeds 100 miles an hour. I wasn't even able to
I would
do
always
that.
hug
It could
Daddy.
do a lot of damage, and you could severely be hurt if you're outside. So anytime there's a warning, make sure you are going to your place of safety.
All right, so this is what happened. I got to 90, but the goggles that I was wearing started moving on me. So I thought, oh, no problem. I'm just going to bring my hand up and secure it. Well, that disturbed the air that was going over my body. And at that point, the winds were turning me and I almost fell over. So I could only imagine, you saw the little mini Drew do the Superman. okay, that's more your weight, you'd have no chance. And that's why we don't want you outside, you know, when it comes to that. So obviously damaging winds can cause a similar type of damage to tornadoes. The last thing we're going to talk about before we do that experiment is hail, all right? Hail is pretty common across our area. Usually, you know, we get pea-sized to dime-size, maybe nickel-size hail. Once hail gets to the size of a quarter, then it becomes damaging, an inch or more. Some of the largest hail ever recorded in Wisconsin, the size of a softball back in Wausau in 1921. The largest hailstone ever recorded in the United States was the size of a girl's basketball at 2.5 pounds.
That's pretty
A
big.
2.5 pound piece of ice that fell to the ground. And sometimes those big, heavy hailstones fall close to 100 miles an
Want to know
hour.
something?
All right. So let's take a look at this last
hear
video,
that?
and then we'll set up. Okay.
There's a size of a
Friends, make sure to
hailstone in
mute your cameras,
1991 or
please.
something.
You turned it down so
Please make sure to mute your microphones, everybody.
Oh, he's dancing as wind. He's just a white.
Dad, that probably is that coming on his head. It's hail.
Shoes on.
That damages a lot of things. Not listening at all. Ice that will like never break. It's a pool. That's a pool. That's in the pool.
That's
Is
a
it cold?
whirlpool.
Yeah, but it's cold, but it's bad weather. Bad weather. It's not bad. I would
Okay.
never be.
So I'm actually outside. Can everyone still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank the Wi-Fi. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do this cloud experiment, and I just want to share with you quickly what I'm trying to do. So I've got, and I don't know, Ms. Yearling, are you able to put up my screen full?
Yours, well, you're full on my screen. Can everyone see Mr. Burgoyne full screen?
Mrs. Yearling, if you hit those 3 dots on him, you should be able to spotlight him.
Okay, thank you. Let me find his real quick because that's really important. Let's see. Spotlight the video. Now can everyone see him?
Okay,
Awesome.
good. So I just want to show you. I've got a big can of liquid nitrogen. Hold on a sec. You see it? It's 20 years. Liquid nitrogen is roughly about 300 below zero. It is super cold. It's a super cold liquid. And then I boiled hot water. So what I want to show you today is the explosion that needs to happen in order for thunderstorms to occur. Okay, you need warm, unstable air. Usually a cold front from Canada plows into it. And if you talked about the water cycle at school, you got to get some way to lift that warm, unstable air. And a cold front is a really, really good way of doing it. You get cold air that comes in from Canada, and it butts up against the warm, unstable air from the Gulf of Mexico. And there's only one place that it goes, and that is up. And it continues to form and it continues to develop as long as the winds coming in that thunderstorm are strong enough. We call that an updraft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off my my earbuds here, and hopefully the microphone will pick up.
Oh, we lost your audio for a second.
Okay, hold on a sec.
Got it?
All right, is it working now?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, so my son Brett is going to help out. Oh, my daughter too. So Brett, come on over here. All right, we just need to, you're going to need to
Switch the camera to face it the other way.
Yeah, don't mess it up. All right, I'm gonna pour the liquid nitrogen in first, and then we'll get it set to do the explosion. Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay, what? Let me see. Oh no, something messed up.
You what?
Something turned off.
Nope, you're good. We can still see you.
Oh, you can? Well, I can't see it. I need to make sure it's like at a good angle so you can see it.
Can you see it or no?
No, the zoom thing popped up.
Okay.
I'm never good with
All right, I'm gonna
technology.
dump all this in, and then we'll come back to it.
Whew, I'm never good with technology.
All right.
Sometimes if you look at the taskbar at the bottom, there might be a second zoom that you can tap on to get your screen back.
Okay, can you still hear me on there?
We can, and we can see you too.
Oh, you can. Okay, I just can't. I just need to be able to see. So you're probably seeing my forehead like right up in the. Not sure. Aha, there we are. Okay. All right, Brett, come over here. You're gonna have to position it.
Okay.
We don't need you in the shot.
I know, I'm just trying to. It's just hard to see in the.
Yeah, I know. All right. Sorry, something. Thank you for being patient. I'm not sure what happened here.
That's okay. We're all trying this together. This is really fun.
This is all right. Maybe I'm wondering.
That looks good. We can see
Okay.
it.
Okay, good, perfect. All right, so I'm going to dump this in. Everyone ready? All right. Okay, so I'm going to take this hot water and pop it on, and hopefully we can get a big explosion. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we will go in 3, 2, 1.
Whoa.
That's
Oh,
Happy fall at the Blue Stadium. Happy fall.
Anyways,
Do it here though.
it's going to keep going.
It's an explosion and it's explosion. Look.
So that'll snap, crackle, and pop like Rice Krispies for a while. And eventually it'll go away, but it actually creates ice on the, on the bottom that I dump out. So could you imagine it to do something like that? So that's always pretty cool. So yeah, that's the explosion that you need. If you wonder about liquid nitrogen, you got to get it at a place called Airgas. They're the ones that do it. So so that's the explosion needed in order to get big time thunderstorms that we typically get in June, July, and August. Although there's only 1 month the state of Wisconsin has never ever recorded a tornado, and that is February. So we've actually had them in almost every month out of the year, and it wouldn't surprise me if all the ingredients came together if we could get it there as well. So hopefully you learned some stuff about storms. You learned about patience and technology, which is so appreciated. Sometimes things don't go as smoothly as we want, but you got to see everything. And I would my homework for all of you is to come up with a plan, all right? Talk around the dinner table tonight. Talk to mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, and make sure that you come up with a safe place to go, and make sure that everyone knows where to go and what to do. And then even if you're scared of things, you'll know what to do, and that's the most important part.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Drew Burgoyne. This was a fabulous opportunity for our kids. Would you mind answering maybe 5 questions we could take?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll let you
Navigate that. So if you
I'll
could,
let you pick them.
sure. So does anybody have a question? Just raise your hand like this. Anybody have any question for Mr. Burgoyne? Okay. I see Morgan Johnson. Morgan, I'm going to unmute you so you can ask your question. Go ahead, Morgan.
I think the guy on the video chat, I saw that the tornado was actually really big and it could like knock over your car and it could damage it.
It definitely could, Morgan. You're right about that. That was a good observation. Thankfully, he was far enough away, and he was safe that nobody got hurt. But we definitely do not want to be in a car when a tornado is coming right toward you. So that's very good.
Great. Thanks, Morgan. Okay, we're going to ask, I want you to think of a question, something that you're wondering about that our expert weatherman might be able to answer for us. So Nathan Flood, would you like to ask a question? Go ahead, Nathan. Oops, hang on. All right, go ahead.
How long have you been on the news?
Hey, that's a great question. Well, I celebrated 18 years so far in television this year. Now, I've been in Milwaukee for 5 years, but before that, and I'm from the Midwest, I was born in Green Bay, but I lived and worked in Arkansas for 13 years. So I had a lot of severe weather experience. I covered a lot of tornadoes, winds, hail, severe thunderstorms when I worked for 13 years in Arkansas. So I've had a lot of experience.
Awesome. Thanks, Nathan. All right, another question. I am going to pick Lena and Boris Chochek. All right, go ahead and ask your questions, friends. Oh, give me a... Your computer is not unmuting, guys. There you go.
When was the last time you seen a tornado? Because I remember when I think I saw a tornado and there was this big, huge cloud, like this super thunderstorm over our house, and then the next day, one of our bricks in our garden was taken and thrown near the school woods.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty scary. Well, I went on a storm chase a couple of months ago, way down in Illinois before things kind of got crazy with COVID. And we were on a couple of tornado-warned storms. I didn't end up seeing any actual tornadoes, but there were some funnel clouds. But usually if there's severe weather around here, I'm not home, I'm at work, and I'm making sure that I'm covering, covering things at work.
Cool. Okay, I am going to ask, how about Hayden Ninman? Would you like to ask a question? Go ahead, Hayden.
So, just the other day, I saw like a teeny tiny mini sandstorm by my house.
Oh, a
Because
dust
there's
devil,
like
huh?
a volleyball area, and there's sand in there.
Yeah,
So
there were. Go ahead.
So I think I saw one.
I think you're right. There were reports the other day of a lot of dust devils, and sometimes the conditions are right, especially if we can get some sunshine and some heating, that you can get these little dust devils. Believe it or not, sometimes dust devils can have winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour on them. So even though they're kind of, they look like something that wouldn't cause any problems, they've actually caused some damage before. So I bet you that's exactly what you saw.
Wow, great question. We're going to take one more, and I would like a 4th grader. And I see Sydney Jones here. Sydney, would you like to ask a question? All right, go ahead, Sid.
So
For that like fake second grader that you made,
It was E. I'm looking for the A.
So you weren't hanging on to anything, but was the fake hanging onto something?
Yeah, well, that that was just a it was a mock second grader. Obviously, it wasn't a person. They had that one chained up just in case, because we pushed the winds super strong, well over 100 miles an hour for that, and that's why he was doing the Superman. So no, I wasn't hanging on to anything. It took all of my leg power, all right, all of it, in order to be able to stand up and and hold myself up. So
And he
it
was at
was
100 miles.
the little one did. I only got to 90 because I almost fell over. So 90 miles an hour was pushing my body around, and at the time I think I weighed about 170 pounds. So imagine your weight being pushed around at 100 miles an hour. You wouldn't have much of a chance.
I'm only 70, so that's gonna be bad.
No, you would fall over for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, guys, that's all the questions we have time for. I want to thank all of you for being here. At one point, we had 81 families who joined us, so that is an awesome celebration. Can we all give Mr. Burgoyne a silent cheer and thank him for coming today? That's so fantastic. We really appreciate your time, and I think we learned a lot.
I hope I can come in person, and we'll see what happens. But we had a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And friends, before we are done, I just want to remind you all that we are trying to do a school talent show. So if any of you have been learning some skills or you want to show those to your classmates, please make sure you get a video to us by May 26th. So I hope you're thinking about those things. We would love to see all of your talents. Okay, everybody, that's all we have for today. Have a wonderful afternoon. I miss you all. Bye, everybody. Drew, thank you so much.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys later.
All right, bye-bye.
Warm water.
Goodbye. Bye, everybody.